All right. So of the four here, who's
I'll be, I'll be
happy
flying.
flying?
I'll be flying. Which enter here? I'll be flying.
Okay.
Wait, how are you getting a helmet? I didn't see that helmet in there. Oh wait, there
Uh,
it is. Nice.
All right. So this was supposed to have jet helmets in it.
Don't see. Well, there is pilot helmets, but is that like there's? It's mostly heli pilots and crew helmets that's in there. Self combat. Oh no, there you go. Well, the pilot helmet is armor level 3 apparently, so not sure what the difference really is.
All right. So we can just use these helmets. They might help a little bit. We don't have. We're not rolled specced out as pilots as the FTX. So that in smaller planes leads to people blacking out really fast. Shouldn't be an issue in this guy because it's a huge lumbering beast.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Witch Hunter, I think you said you're going to fly first for us,
Yes.
which is good because
Yes,
I'm
yes.
I'm a rotten pilot, and that way I can work on Zeusing stuff as need be. So why don't we go jump in?
Actually, I don't need it. I don't need these guns. Normally you can open this. Oh.
Okay, there we go.
What was happening?
I don't know. It can be kind of buggy getting in and out.
Alright.
All right, so we got a pilot, a co-pilot. So basically, we're going to go up. We are in AO2, which is basically southwest. So it's basically as you take off, you want to just sort of get up 1,000 feet or so, and you can start heading to your right, and we'll be in the AO.
Alright.
I'm going to check to make sure we have targets to work on. Somebody, I think we've got somebody's in the correct seat, right? I can't see behind me. Let me make sure we got the intercom stuff. Do we have intercoms? Yeah, affirm. It sounds like you are, though, so that's good.
User in your channel timed out.
And we have liftoff.
All right, excellent. So it looks like the AO's been set up.
So you want me to go right?
Basically, yeah, because we're heading. What are we heading right now? Northeast.
We are heading northeast. Yes.
Yeah, so we need to go
southwest.
Yep.
Southwest is pretty much a
Get on the
360
southwest
turn.
vector and just kind of hug on the coast for a second.
Alright. Okay, that's east. Wait, hold up. Because I have to do a 360 turn here.
That's fine. So basically, just for this part, we're basically just going to get up in the air and use the targeting interface, and then we'll go back. And you'll notice this thing requires a lot of juice to keep from dropping.
Yeah, I know. We're going 400 at the moment. What altitude do you want me to reach?
For now, I think like 1,000 meters is probably fine.
One click. All right. Going a bit higher. Right. Going to level her out. Okay. 1,000 meters and holding. Well, I know.
Okay, yeah, so
1,000 at
to our
low.
northwest, we can see the airfield we just took off from. We can head southwest down along the coast. All right, so whoever's in our weapons systems officer desk, have you been able to pull up the targeting interface? I think it's a scroll wheel. Yeah, it'll be like a little box with a map and stuff in it. All right. So for this first round here, I'm going to give you an 8-digit grid. And I want you to input that grid and then look for a nearby town and put a POI down that has a name that says no fire area. Okay. And so the grid is going to be 0519 1093. And then whoever's riding co-pilot, you can jump into the IR operators. Well, whatever one's available. There should be an IR operator seat. If you jump into that, you can take a look through the cameras and such. And actually, I can look at the targeting interface from my seat, so that'll be helpful. Am I the weapons systems guy now? What's going on?
I think we're moving away from the beach now, though.
Yeah, if you want to start heading north up the coast.
Copy.
Yes, exactly. Did it put anything on the map in front of you?
Could I have the grid reference one more time?
Yeah, it's let's use 0519 1094.
Alright, heading north. I'm gonna lower my speed a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, I think after you press that arrow, you press the mark target button, and you also have to make sure you've selected a mark up at the top. So for this, we're going to use the HM mark because we're going to pretend this grid coordinate is a hostile. There we go. So it just worked for me on the targeting interface. I'm not sure what my role is here. Did you see an HM01 pop up on your map?
We've got Papa 01.
And then people that are in the camera should be able to see HM01 as well.
We're looking in the wrong direction.
Are you guys looking out towards sea?
I can see HM02 on my little map here, but not 01.
Oh, there we go. I see 02 now. That's probably why. It won't let me delete this one, which means you probably have to delete the HM01, but that worked. HM02's there. So go ahead and place a POI on Anachori that says no fire zone, or no fire area, rather.
Yeah, those I can't see. Nice. Good to know.
Yeah, nice. I see a
Right,
POI 1 on the left. All right, that works like a charm. If you're in the cameras, you'll note that you can zoom quite a bit. So even though we are really far away from those right now, you can't see them because there's a mountain in the way, but you can get almost out there. That's if your view range will allow it. All right, so Pilot, we are up in AO1 now, so I would, if you can pull a U-turn, basically a 180, and head back south.
All right.
And then let's rotate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the flight engineer's seat because this doesn't do anything right now.
User joined your channel.
Whoever's in the weapons officer's seat, title out of that. And I guess, Yoy, if you're not flying, you can jump in that. All right, Yoy, are you in the weapon? No, okay. Or Mohawk, if you want to jump in there, it looks like you're open to do that.
Okay.
Nice, okay. I'm going to jump in the fire control officer.
Oh, we're flying over one of the other planes.
Can we shoot him?
Negative, not live fire yet. A couple other things to point out, they've modeled the interiors, so if you're in one of these other seats, some of the displays actually work. So if you're not ADS'd, you can see the other screens and they'll show you kind of navigational stuff. They'll also show you where people are pointing at, things like that. And you can see each other's view markers as well when you're in camera. All right, whoever's in the, I think it's Mohawk now, right? If you want to delete those previous marks, the no fire area and the HM01, HM02, I'm going to give you a grid. That grid is going to be a reference point. Let me know when you're ready to receive.
All right, I'm ready for the grid.
All right, grid is 0719er 1302.
I got 0719 or 1302.
Affirm. And for that one, let's do, oh, that one, yeah, okay. So we'll mark that as a hostile marker. We don't know what's there yet. And again, because it's kind of counterintuitive, you select the HM. Since it's a grid coordinate, you can type in the grid coordinates, hit the arrow button, and then I think you have to hit the mark target button, and that's what'll populate the map.
Yeah, I can still see. Oh, HM01 just appeared.
There we go. Okay, there we go. It does seem to be like, I can see it on camera. It takes a second, apparently, for it to show up on the targeting interface or whatever this is.
I can see it.
All right. Now, those of us that are in camera seats, let's pan around, see if we can find any. Where did he put those guys? I might need to check Zeus for that. Cause
I'm gonna turn around.
that sounds good. All right, so there should be hostiles basically direct east of that mark somewhere. Did not immediately see them, but
Eyes on hostile marks.
excellent.
HM02 is the mark.
Yep, see it.
All right, see if you can find, there should be some friendlies nearby. Mohawk, let's see if we can, I can't see them with my thermals. Maybe I'm in the wrong.
I can see the enemies with the thermal.
Yeah, I got eyes on. Don't forget about the zoom in.
So I know what's going on in my case. I don't think I'm in one of the actual operator seats, but like the ground detail resolution is collapsed in on itself. Let me bump up my terrain.
I might be too high. I'll fly a little bit down.
I found some more targets. HM03.
Yep, see him.
So I can see the marks, and I take you guys' word for it that those are actual guys. Yoi, remind me which seat you're in. Are you TV operator right now?
IR operator.
You're the IR operator. Okay. Yeah, I'm having some terrain, some kind of terrain glitching going on here, but
Yeah, I had to set everything to max just to see it.
yeah, it didn't adjust my. That should do it. Yeah, that worked, I think. Round, yep. All right.
Oh, I see a Humvee. That might be friendlies.
Yeah, Humvee, that's probably friendlies, yeah. It looks like we've got, what, a BMP,
We've got two by the looks of things.
another sort of tracked vehicle yeah, maybe that is another BMP, and then we've got a bunch of squad-sized guys running around. Nice, we've got the friendly mark, FM01.
Uh-oh. Pulling it.
Now, if you wanted to do a tracked friendlies mark on those guys, you would zoom in on them and use the scroll wheel while you were in camera mode. It's actually letting me do it. Oh,
Yep, I see it.
you guys see that friendly track mode?
Yep.
In theory, if that Humvee were to move, it should move with them. Let me see if that's something that actually, well, I don't want to mess around with the setup just yet, but it does tend to work. All right, so do me a favor, Mohawk. Go ahead and delete those marks. And then do you want to trade seats with Yoi? Although Yoi seems to understand how to mark pretty well, so.
Yeah, I understand.
We all get access to basically parts of the same interface, so it's like I can use the targeting interface, but basically the person in the weapon systems officer's role can kind of control it more. Now, the other thing worth noting, I guess, for Witch Hunter while you're in the pilot seat is you should be able to see marks and such on your
exactly. It's very nice.
various items.
Very good.
Let me jump into the Flight Engineer because that'll give me a view. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them
And
right
there's also,
on the middle screen.
I'm trying to remember, can you see the side view?
What do you mean?
There's some kind of, I think if you ADS or something, it brings up like basically a radar image of what your side picture looks like.
Like there is a
you know,
thing to the left of me, but...
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that later anyway, but that basically shows you what your gunners are looking at in one of these kind of green radar views, and that's going to help you understand the kind of what attitude you have to stay at with your orbit to give them a good sight picture to shoot. But we'll cover that in another section. All right, Yoi, are you in the getting the EWO seat? The other thing, Witch Hunter, if you want, you can set up autopilot. We can get you in that EWO seat as well. Although autopilot does seem to be where the thing likes to glitch out the most.
Right, I'm in the EWO.
All right, bring up that targeting interface and try and reacquire some of those enemies and mark them for us. I mean, it looks like we still have the marks, I guess. I'm not sure how to delete them.
Oh, I think I have an idea. Let's try... Okay, that's cool. Mouse wheel, delete mark, but you have to look at it. These marks are on the other side of the hill, so we can't delete yet.
Oh, you got to do it with the camera?
Yas.
Yeah, I see what you mean, the DL. No nearby marks.
Unfortunately, the hill's in the way, so we can't delete them.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, why don't we practice? I'll do a grid reference for you real quick, and you can just chunk that in there for us.
Alright, ready for the grid reference?
All right, grid is, we need a mark on 05391789.
We'll collapse it, we're dropping. What am I de-thinking?
Yeah, there we go.
Anyone here?
I'm still alive apparently. So I was stuck in the autopilot screen and I couldn't do anything about it. Yeah,
I can't get out!
Can't you just repair the plane? The hell is going on?
So how is everyone?
Good, yeah.
It's a nice view I got here, actually.
I do have to say, if I fly this, or when I fly this again, I'm not using that autopilot anymore. What the hell? I was smashing buttons and it wouldn't let me out. That was very strange. I'll just fly manually, that's safer.
How do I get people out of the crashed plane? It glitched on this again.
I just noticed there's a hub you can take down.
Hey Baker, can you help
In
me?
the pilot seat.
Yeah, they use that for landing.
They can't get 'em out.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it lights up the runway. Well, it should light up the runway, I'd like to add.
Like if it's night or something, then or.
Pretty much. You can do it daytime as well, but it is more for night. It's more easy to use on night.
I remember back in Arma 2, I did also these kind of missions, and I did a night run with a C-130, and that was amazing. Landing a C-130 at night is just glorious.
Does it say boob? Did anyone see that?
Technically 8008, but yes.
Oh, okay. So our plane was called Boob.
Yeah, you should probably like bandage yourself or something, right?
Can't spell.
Well, that was
got
dramatic.
boo-boo.
All right, you guys should be healed now. Sorry, it was taking me a second to get you out of the plane. That's basically what happens when the plane glitches out.
Yeah, I wasn't able to do anything when I was clicking the autopilot and I just couldn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, I think basically it's like you go into autopilot and then you switch out of the seat, it just decides to die, basically. So that'll just happen every once in a while. Let's go back to base real quick and we'll do the next round and then we can
I'm
kind
just
of
not
cover
using
whatever we
autopilot
missed.
anymore.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I think basically the autopilot's good if you're using it in mission and you've got an orbit you like. You can set it and it kind of holds it for you, but it's not great for.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hello.
We had one of those fun autopilot-induced
Some
failures. Luckily, it was right at the end.
Yeah, autopilot will do that. Fun fact, we'll go over this in just a moment, but it does have an autopilot. Would not recommend it because sometimes you'll go straight into the ground. And
Oh yeah,
not
that's
much
what our
recovery
plane
flying
did.
that heavy.
And that's what we did.
Welcome
Yeah.
to it.
Real Chad pilot shouldn't need it anyway. Burn his hands turning 24/7.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So next up is pilot. Fair warning, this is the most challenging one. It's not that it's inherently difficult. It's just totally different from any other kind of piloting you will ever have done. Fortunately, we have the most experienced AC-130 pilot in the unit here to help you out.
Most experienced by exactly one deployment, but I'll take it away and you won't even notice.
Yes.
Right on. So, to get into it, as he said, it's a very unique thing to fly because it doesn't have the weapons deployed from the wings like most other jets or planes you'll be used to. It'll be under the wings on the left-hand side. And if you were at the last Tier 1 FTX we did, Ficton FTX, this is where these left-hand pattern skills can transfer to. You can transfer the exact same muscle memory to orbiting an AO. And you will always do left-hand turns because it's going to be a left-hand orbit, and you'll be doing that for 2 hours at a time. It's really fun. You'll be really sweaty by the end, but it's so worth it.
Joystick should help with that. Be a lot
Absolutely
easier
should.
spinning with
Yes.
the mouse. Yeah.
I can't imagine flying this with mouse and keyboard, but Baker is doing it, and he's doing a great job, so I'm sure it's doable.
I don't know if it's great, but I mean, it's a job. You could
He's
call
got a
it.
fucking 5-meter mouse pad probably to keep those fucking orbits.
Just got the quickest wrist in the Wild West, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Lots of practice. Right, moving straight on. Let's look at what the pilot actually does and what their job is in the plane. Because while you might expect them to be in charge of the whole plane, as we talked about, the Wizzo is the piloting leader, as it were, but you're still responsible for the aircraft as its safety, as its deployment. And you're responsible for flying it and for navigating it. The cool thing is the crew can help you out navigating by placing waypoints, by giving you landmarks, that sort of thing. And using the marked reference points, you can ensure optimal angles of fire for your crew. Let me just mute Discord.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
You motherfucker.
And how you can ensure those optimal angles of fire, we're going to be looking at in a minute. You are also responsible for the countermeasures against eventual AA threats, because we're not always going to be deploying it in perfect AOs. There will be manpads, there will be ZSUs at some point. So again, you are responsible for the safety of the aircraft. So you have to be familiar with the aircraft itself, how it flies, how to read a HUD, because you do have a HUD in the C-130, which is really, really helpful. You also have a side HUD that points straight down your orbit at the center point of your orbit, and you have a tactical awareness display, or a TAD, and that's what we're going to be looking at now. Now, the TAD can be used for navigation to an objective, but it also displays the orbit path around the marked reference point, or whatever reference point you've got selected. Again, this is where we talked about in the last FTX as well. You can only use this in first person. Genuinely, you cannot, hello Scaldy, fly this thing in third person. It looks great, and seeing how it's a fire shot is amazing, but honestly, you will be in first person 100% of the time flying this thing. Now, to use it, you will be using the scroll wheel most of the time. Thankfully, the scroll wheel is janky. You don't have to let go of your stick that much. You can set it to a map with map textures. You will use that from the Armor 3 map as well.
Nice.
But you can also disable the map textures by selecting TAD map. Then you can zoom in or out with TAD scale. And TAD scale has a second purpose as well, we're going to look at in a second. And using the TAD is fantastic to get into an orbit to navigate with, because you can see all the mark reference points and different things on it. Now, using reference points, the TAD shows you an ideal orbit path. It is the dashed line around whatever, the dashed line in the center of the TAD, sorry. Now, when you cycle through RPs, the center point of that dashed line is going to be changing to account for where the reference point is to give you the perfectly scaled orbit that you set through the TAD scale scroll wheel action. You can cycle through the RP, which is going to be your mainstay, FM01 and HM01. These can only, the friendly markers and the hostile markers can only be the first ones, not any other from 0 through 5. So if you want to be tracking something that isn't the RP, just temporarily, ask your crew to set something FM1, HM01, or in fact the IRSP, which is where the IR operator's reticle is pointing any given time. So if you follow the IRSP as a reference, you will have a fairly jittery reference point, but it can be great to just quickly gauge, oh, they're looking that way, maybe that's where my attention should be in that moment. Now, how do you center the TAD on the RP? Because by default,
User
you
left
will
your channel.
have it
User
centered
left your
on
channel.
your plane, and that's the little cross.
User left
that you
your
can
channel.
perhaps make
User
out
left your channel. User left
just
your
off to the
channel.
side right there on the dash line. That is where your aircraft is. When you hit TAD mode, it will center it on the RP, and it will show you exactly where you are relating to the orbit. When you press it again, you will be back on the gunship, centered.
All right, so this is the confusing bit. There's a lot of little particulars in there. We don't fully expect you to remember it. This is why we have questions on it, to get another experience, and more importantly, hands-on. So don't get overwhelmed. It's not all that complicated. You'll come to find.
I mean,
Gonna be
just
real.
now when I
That
was
was
flying,
information overload.
just now when I was flying the S-130, I was already playing with those buttons. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
A little ahead.
Maybe that's why it went down.
That
no,
might be
it
it.
went down because of the janky ass autopilot.
Sure.
There is a crash the gunship into the ground button. You gotta watch out for that one.
Now, moving on. Back to the reference point and the TAD scale. You are going to be using 3 scales most of the time. You've got 4.5K, 6K, and 12K. And they determine the diameter, bear in mind, diameter, not radius, of the orbit. 4.5K will probably be your mainstay for engagements. You can scale it up to 6K when you're farther away or in a recon orbit. And 12K will be used for something like navigation to the orbit, because armor maps are really, really small. Is that clear so far?
Can it pull off
Go.
a 3K orbit?
It can, yeah. Those were sort of our mainstay orbits last time we played. It was between 2.8 and 4K most of the time.
I know.
Yeah, the closer you are in.
Tight fucking turn, it seems, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. The closer you are in to account for the bank, the lower you want to be. Otherwise, you will be in such a steep bank it will be impossible to counter with rudder. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I think I'm going to get this more when I actually sit in the seat and have a little play with it.
Yeah, I think so too.
That is for sure.
Absolutely. And once we are in the seats, whoever's with you will be fantastic for answering questions.
That's you.
Oh,
For me.
oh my. Right, moving on. We talked about what the map and the orbit displays are. The map is great for navigation. You display it using TAD map, and you cycle through them, through the 2 modes that way. There's a hot mic to my left. Please make sure you're on push to talk or are quiet. And on the TAD map, you can see the Wizzo's waypoints. Depending on how far zoomed out you are, and of course how densely they are populated, they'll be a bit clustered. But once you're down to 4.5 or 3K orbit, you see them quite clearly. And again, TAD scale will zoom in and out. TAD orbit, without the map textures, you'll be using once you've established an orbit. and you can select the RP with Cycle RP. We talked about that already. Cool. Let's move on to practice using 5 questions. First question. Baker, are you on the slide? Because I can't see.
Yeah, I gotcha. What
All
are
right,
the
cool.
roles of the pilot?
Maybe don't have a scoreboard because you won't see my meme name. And 2 ones for the 2 different
You got
quizzes.
10 seconds left if you haven't answered.
Scotty, I'm trying to think.
Mike actually also just came up to me.
Cats are
Cat
dumb.
hour in the AC 130.
Cats are amazing. Shut up.
Cats are so stupid. Scotty agrees.
All right, so just like the other questions so far, all 4 were the right answer. As the pilot, if someone's trying to blow you up, you would better put some flares out there. You're responsible for flight of the gunship, and a slight typo edit out is now the weapons systems officer is responsible for navigation. But I mean, hey, I guess you're the one who has to follow it, right? You orbit marked reference points, and you have to be familiar with your 3 HUDs, your front HUD, your side HUD, and the TAD with all the fancy maps. Next question.
Which of the following marks can we select as an orbit reference?
I fucking smashed that one. Wish I was good, as good in uni as I was on UNITAF quizzes.
Noah has been training us well.
Oh, so good. Straight in. Full marks.
It takes me so long to see it. I still don't even know what people answered. It's crazy.
What, is your connection too slow or something? What's the problem?
No, it's just quizzes is dumb. It like makes you look at 19 slides before it shows you the results. Okay, so
Ah.
which can you place as an orbit reference? Obviously, well, not obviously. This is weird. Reference point is your main one. Frankly, if you know that, you're gonna be all right. That's what you're gonna be using most of the time. The weird exceptions that are just bonuses are friendly mark 1 and hostile mark 1. You can actually pick them to be your orbit center. You cannot do 2 through 5. So friendly mark 3 is right out. And the one that, I mean, yeah, sure, but I don't know why you'd ever do it, really. IR sensor position, your gunner's cursor, yeah, you can even use that as your reference point for orbit. Only things
Well, I
you
talked
cannot
about
do.
why. Didn't you listen?
I did, but man, I could never imagine it. He'd be jerking all around. That thing's hard enough to orbit in.
You'll have to be
The
jerked
only
around.
things you cannot do are friendly mark 2 through 5, hostile mark 2 through 5. But as long as you know reference point is your mainstay, you're going to be A-okay.
So, does the mod not let you do friendly tracked mark?
You cannot use that as a reference point orbit, no.
I am fairly sure I did use it last time we played it.
We'll have to try that out then. That would be
Yeah.
very useful.
Fuck, I
Because-
got this one wrong.
Yeah, the squad leader
think I
was
just
moving
looked
around in the vehicle, but I did track him, and it was very useful. Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
I'd say that'd be a good one.
Right, moving on then.
They just finished that question. They were doing it while we were talking.
Oh, dear. 45
one.
seconds, Baker.
Okay, so which scroll wheel select option will make the TAD display a map? That one is TAD map. Once you have the map textures on with TAD map, TAD mode will change whether you're looking at the reference point or you're looking at your gunship. Are you trying to orbit? Or is the reference point where your screen's locked, or is it locked on your gunship? But know that TAD map is what pulls up the map. That's not too complicated. These other ones are a little complicated. Next question.
Which scroll wheel select option from the very colourful mess on the left-hand side here will center the screen on your RP?
I'm gonna be honest, this is the bit I didn't quite follow.
I don't get this either.
This is the nitty grittiest part of this whole
Yeah.
FTX. If you got even half of these, good on you. It's
think
once
I
you
got
get in there and you play around with them, it's going to be a lot better.
This is literally a guess, so I'm just going to click the first one.
Got
If you get it,
33%
you'll
chance
seem
of
that much
success
cooler.
here.
Let's
Yeah, correct.
Fuck yeah, I feel just like on my economics exams. Guessing
I'm
and
gonna
all.
be the best pilot.
You can kind of process of elimination it out, right? So CAD map, all that does is pull up the textures. Do you want to see map or do you want to see black screen? Once you have a reference point, you hit cycle RP. You can hit TAD mode to say, I want to center my screen on that RP. If you just pick an RP, your screen's going to say, all right, gotcha, buddy. But you have to actually click TAD mode to center it for orbit. Other than that, it's just selected off in the distance, which you will get practice on in a moment.
Yeah,
Next
and you will
question.
see the circle jump about when you cycle through RPs, but it won't be centered on them, of course.
Right.
You don't
Right.
have to teach this, they can teach anything. How the fuck was the marksman one that means scored in 4 hours?
All right.
Because I was
just
very
to review with
ambitious.
the questions. Which of the
That's fine, man.
following are true? You got 30 seconds.
I feel like I fucked up.
Yeah, I definitely need to get in there and click some buttons to fully let this go into my brain, I think.
Yeah.
That's why we're about to click some buttons.
Yeah,
He
lots
is
of
with
stuff.
the program.
Just spawn 12 AC-130s.
Well, I lied.
AC
Before we
130
click
fight.
buttons, we're going to go over the side HUD, but then we're about there. You got through the nitty gritty stuff. After this, it's all right.
Airborne AC 130 fight, like a fucking battleship fight.
I missed one.
Aw.
Yeah,
I
same
thought
here.
the
That's
last
bullshit.
one wasn't 100%.
The last one,
fair.
it had its it was changed around. First it was TAD mode, then Psycho RP. That's what got me.
Yeah,
Did
same.
I pull it
Is the
tricky?
third one right? HM1 is the only hostile mark that can be.
Yeah.
Oh, only
The only
hostile
hostile
mark.
mark.
I'm a fucking
Almost caught me out as well.
big brain. Caught me. It fucked
By
me.
reading the question, Johnson.
Good news is everyone got that the pilot is the only one who can employ the countermeasures if someone's trying to blow you up. And if you want to see a map, you can press TAD map. Those are the self-explanatory ones. Most people did really well with these next ones. Not that these ones are. This one is super important. You will mostly be using reference point to center your orbit. However, you can also use hostile mark 1, not 2 through 5. And if you want to center your screen on the reference point, you want to look at the reference point and show a circle around it so you can orbit it. You cycle RP, so you pick your reference point, what you want to orbit, and you hit TAD mode to center the screen on the middle of it. That's the key one right here, and that's the weird one. Cycle RP gives you your reference point. Then you can hit TAD mode, and it will center your screen on it. It'll show you the circle around it. Circle's not moving, so you can watch your gunship go in circles around the dotted line. But you'll get practice with that in a moment. First, we have to take a look at the side HUD and some other fun things. These aren't too bad.
Baker, can I ask something about the hostile markers?
Sir.
So if you put 3 down and you deleted number 1 and then put another one down, would it go as number 1 again, or would it go as number 4?
It would go as number 1. So you can place all 5 down, and if you delete number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will still be there. And whatever's left over, when you place another one, it'll fill in the gap. So your numbers won't go changing on you.
But it will start again from 1. Or it will start again from the
Yeah,
lowest number again when you place it.
If you place all 5 and you delete 1 and 3,
Yeah.
then when you place another one, it will go at 1, and when you place a second one, it won't be second, it will be 3.
Got it, yeah.
I got you now. Sweet. All right, next up, side HUD. We'll do another little question to help you think about this stuff. There'll be some review of what we just did, so you'll have a chance to think about that stuff again, and then we'll go hands-on. This is a shorter bit.
Yay. Right on. So sight out again. This is when you basically look left in a left-hand turn towards the orbit reference point you've got, and it'll be centered on that point. And if you follow the information on the side HUD, you will follow a perfect orbit. That orbit doesn't necessarily have to be on the dash line on your TAD, but whatever number you pick to follow, it'll be the perfect orbit for that parameter, if that makes sense. You get there in the pilot seat by pressing left control and right click. She agrees. And there's only a couple of things we really need to get us going using the side HUD. Now, the most crucial thing you're going to be using is the reference point tangent indicator. That's a very long line of words that basically say, if you see both lines, your gunners can hit the target.
Ah.
And just to be clear,
that's
the
cool.
reference point tangent indicator is the bottom left. It's that like gun scope crosshair looking thing. Circle
Yeah.
with the vertical and horizontal line.
I do want to
That's
point
the
out
one.
that earlier when I was flying, I didn't see this HUD, where it wasn't clear that where
Did you
where
do
this
left
was.
control, right click?
Yeah,
No.
when you just look
would-
look left at the HUD as a prop in your plane in your cockpit, you can't see the information on it. You have to actually enter the interface using left control, right click.
All right, that's good to know. Okay.
Scholar, do you need a certain helmet for this to work, or will it work
No,
even without helmet?
this is not
Okay,
like an Apache or Hornet. This is just a HUD like the one in front of your face, just off to the side.
Yeah.
The lines are the two dashed lines at the top and bottom.
No,
No.
the dashed lines are the weapon limits up and down, the vertical weapon limits off your gunners, so they can't.
It's that circle to the left of the screen. Is a
I'll
little
get
circle.
there. Hang on, I'll get there.
It's the answer. It's the circle.
The dash lines up top and bottom are, this is how far they can lift or depress their guns, and so whatever marker in the center of your side HUD is outside of those lines, they can't hit either. But the tangent indicator is the circle on the left bottom side, where you see a cross in a circle with five dots below it. We'll look at that in detail in a bit.
Do you,
But-
do you see what we're looking at now? Does everyone got eyes on that?
Yep.
Right, cool.
Sweet.
Now the horizontal line indicates your altitude, and therefore
Let's go bump some insurgents.
I like that I have to take my helmet off so I can hear what the fuck the instructors are saying.
So
good.
Yeah, these are quite noisy.
What?
Boop. Oh right, wait, we have no plane. Where's our instructor? Guess we just go and look for a plane. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. Ready to crash?
Yeah, it's like 11 here.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to set up all that crap. It's taking way too long for the things to paste in. I'll grab a plane.
So you're gonna spawn 4 planes, or? Plane. Okay. Oh wait, there. I can't get inside. Oh wait, there it is.
User left your channel.
Why
User
won't it let
joined your
me?
channel.
Oh, I might be having lag. It didn't lag for me last time. Oh,
User left your
Hotspur
channel.
can't get it. Oh, there he is.
User joined your channel.
Wait,
User
so
left your
control
channel.
right click.
User joined your channel.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, sorry about that. We really need 4 Zeus's for this, I think.
Control right click's pretty nice. Just as very cool.
All right, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
All right, excellent. So reminding myself, we are AO2. I've got 4 areas for us to look at. just reconsult what the section is here. All right, who's our EWO right now? Is there anybody in the EWO seat? All right, sweet. So the basic setup here is that we have friendlies being pinned down by Op4 in 4 locations. So I've got 4 AOs. I'm going to feed you a grid. We're going to need to locate that, establish a reference point, and then mark hostiles. So the first grid for you, kMaN, is going to be... Are you ready for that? Okay, it is 039er TAC 143. Roger that. And pilot, I think we need to basically do a 180 and head back southwest to our AO.
Okay, I'm just getting some altitude first.
Yeah, sounds good. And you guys have to bear with me. I basically missed that entire section. Are you PO1? Okay, that's good because it's basically a POI. Now that's not going to help our pilot, but do I have a targeting view?
So south, right?
Yeah, basically if you can head from our current pause kind of southwest back across the airfield and keep heading southwest, we'll be heading towards the location.
Copy.
My left control right click's not working.
That
Control.
only works for pilot.
Yeah, that's for that side view the pilot has.
Yeah, you're in the co-pilot thing. Okay, my map scale is on 4.5. Good. I can see a moving HMO1. Oh, what the hell?
Nice, perfect.
Wait, so which one do I fly to? Alright.
And that POI 1 is going to we're going to convert that to the reference point once we're in there. That should be around the center of where these guys are, and then we can use that to establish an orbit.
User left your channel.
Yeah, you got to look at it in the camera, and then
User
you should be able to
joined your
scroll and
channel.
basically, pick a reference point.
Crap, too far to the left.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay, I can see HMO4.
I believe you can,
User left your channel.
if you roll your scroll wheel at that time,
User
you should
joined
get a
your
list of
channel.
options. Yeah, so you'll see things like mark HP, mark FP, and you want mark RP. And that should become visible to the pilot once you have something like that marked.
I do not see. Oh, there it is.
Pilot, do you see something?
Yeah, I see a lot of stuff.
I can see a friendly one, I think, but.
Yeah, what's weird is I'm seeing the HMs, but I'm not seeing that POI on the targeting interface. But I don't know if that's because I'm in the wrong seat.
User left your channel.
You're right. Okay, cool.
We're diving. We're diving.
Oh, we are. Yeah, I'm pulling up, but it's not pulling up.
User joined your channel. User left your channel. User joined your channel. User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Damn it. Gosh, it's really being weird with the teleporting. That get everybody over here? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just healed everybody. All right, I think I have to toggle you guys on con. I can't hear anybody, and everyone's moving around on the floor.
I wasn't talking.
Yeah, none of us are talking. It's too late. He's gone.
But of course, we're all on the floor.
I'm here. I can hear you. Sorry, what were you going to say? Okay, you guys can hear me. These guys I have to toggle because they are all in the ground.
What? Wait, what's happening?
No.
Okay, that's back to normal. Let's get another plane. All right, let's try this again.
User left your channel. Joined your channel.
All right. Pilot seat should be open again.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
All right, who wants to try flying?
I'll give it a go, I guess.
All right.
Except I got like 5 frames.
Yeah, it just got real choppy as well. Getting 14 FPS, that's not going to help our flying.
I got 5.
Nice.
So you can see how this thing can be a little bit janky. There we go, that fixes it a little bit.
Yeah, I went to 4.
I had my view distance at like 10,000 with 100%.
You might want to turn a little bit to the right because the plane is going off track. There you go.
All right, who do we have in the WSO? All right, kMaN. Let's try that again with that grid, and I'll read it back to you when you're ready. Yeah, exactly. It's 039er, TAC 143. And for the pilot, Mohawk, that destination is, let's see, where are we right now? We are leaving north. You're going to want to basically bank left and head southwest.
I hope we're gonna have practice servers up soon, so we can like practice on our own. It would help a lot for me to just fly a little bit. Because you can't really practice these things a lot.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I see contacts on top of the hill.
All right, I've made us all invulnerable for the moment, so hopefully that will speed up if we crash again.
User left your channel.
All right, where do we need to go from here?
User joined your channel.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm still not seeing anything.
Yeah, basically you
User
keep
left
banking
your
right.
channel.
So head northeast from here, and you should get, the POIs are basically direct west of where we are right now. Affirm, yeah, keep banking to the right. Yeah. Yeah, basically like heading between 300 310 is directly on to the POI marker. And if you keep banking to the right of that, that'll let us set up an orbit that's outside of it. I think it's on the other side of this hill. I can see the
Yeah,
POI mark. And I can
earlier
see
when
some
I was
enemies.
clicking Cycle RP, it didn't work.
I'm
It
still not
wouldn't
seeing
let
any
me
marks.
do anything.
I think what I'm looking at right now, just north of that POI marker, are friendlies. There's also some friendlies and some Bradleys to the left of it, to the west. So they're passing over right on our, to the north of our fuselage right now. I don't see it. Wait, no, I see it. There's a box. It's back in the center of town. If you look back, bearing 164, there's a square. That's the that should be the RP. And I can see the POI and I can see the RP, so maybe it just takes a second for it to sync up. I think there's been some.
When I look into the targeting computer, I don't see any marks set down.
I don't see him now either. When I look at the targeting computer, there's something. I see the HMs. I don't see friendly marks. I don't see POIs. I can see it on the POI tab, but it's not. Okay, now I got it. It's showing up. I was in the wrong part of the map. That's fine. So POI's there.
I have eyes on.
Well, maybe drop a friendly mark around that POI because that's where the friendlies are, it looks like, and you can use that. If that will show up, then maybe that will allow us to drop an RP on that.
Oh well, unfortunately the belly of the plane is in my line of sight. There we go. Right, so let's start marking.
Okay, I can see the FM mark. It looks like it's just a little bit, well, I can't really tell what I'm looking at the moment. I think I'm out of the AO there, but it looks like it's... Mohawk, do those friendly marks show up on your HUD right now?
No, I've got no markers whatsoever.
Okay.
User joined your channel.
So it sounds like Yoey and I can see the stuff in the camera, but you guys can't, which is kind of defeats the purpose if the pilot and the WSO can't. All right, try this out for me. WSO, can you see if you can delete any of these? Well, you can't see them with the camera, so you can't delete marks, but Yoey might be able to.
I can delete them, yeah.
Can you delete all the marks you can see?
I can do if you like.
Just to see if we can if the WSO can get his marks working.
All deleted apart from the POI.
Yeah, I can't get the POI either, probably because that was put in with a grid reference. Okay, I can see that. Is it visible on your camera? It's bearing about 200 from our pause right now. Okay. Here's what we should try. Why don't you switch to another seat and then try switching back. Mohawk, you're doing a fine job considering you can't see any of the marks, so keep it up. You're basically orbiting the POI right now.
Yeah, I can't see any marks, and my throttle only goes to 0 or 100 and nothing in between.
Isn't that fun?
Do you want to try IR operator? Because that's the one I could use to see.
Yeah, and I can hop out of my spot and see if that works. I'll go to the engineer's seat. All right, so I feel like you are bugged at the moment. Yoi, let's try and get this one just while we're up in the air set up, and then we will swap planes again. All right, so Yoi, do you want to hop in the EWO?
Right, I'm in the EWO.
All right.
I've got the PO1.
I feel like part of our issue is that there's like a whole bunch of marks, and like I don't know if we're maybe too close to another AO, or when I look up on this little like screen that shows navigation from back here, I can see a ton of marks, meaning those haven't left the system somehow. Even though when I look in the camera, I'm not seeing them anymore.
We do have another AC-1 flight above us.
That might be interfering, I guess, although it should just have to do with the one. But in any case, Yoi, you can see that POI marker from your WSO, right?
Correct, yes.
All right. So see if you can set, I believe where you got it.
Look out. You're almost flying into them.
All right, we got to deconflict.
That was actually very close.
Oh, the people in the tank is naked.
Yeah, so everybody that's on that hill is friendly, so we probably need to drop an FM mark on them. I believe the hostiles are on the other side or near the POI one. Part of the issue is the vehicles they're not running. At least the BMPs have gunners on top of them, though, so you can see them. Same with the tank. All right, we got a reference point.
I've done some markings. Is there anything else you'd like me to do, Hosper?
No, that's perfect. Sorry, I was talking on the Discord channel here because they were trying to disambiguate something. That is great. So let's try. We're gonna run up against timing soon. So let's swap seats again. I'm gonna jump on the flight engineering seat. Witch Hunter, jump in that WSO.
Alright. What do I do here?
Alright, I'm going to give you a grid reference. So I need to pull up the target interface.
That is the targeting system, right?
Hosper?
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, one person. Mohawk?
What's that?
Yes?
Do you see that center screen between us?
If I zoom out, yeah.
Yeah, that's what... I can see the markers on there, can you?
Yeah, it's the center screen. It's not the screen in
No,
front of you.
I got no markers on that. I know the TAD. I got no markers on it.
Oh yeah. So that it's one of those confusing things where it's not going to give you an actual HUD, but the markers show up on the that sort of TAC panel in the middle of the flight controls. That's working
Yep.
okay.
I don't see anything there. It's blank. Well, I see the map. That's it.
So you don't see the marks?
Negative, no marks.
Wow. So it's okay. It's got different versions on each of our clients. All
You
right.
might wait. You might want to cycle the scale because you might be either way too zoomed in. Is the scale on 4.5?
No, it's 22.5.
Now I zoom in. I still don't see anything.
Yeah, I think we've just got some kind of client-side desync issue going on where we're going to have to swap planes or something. But let's get Witch Hunter onto a couple of marks, and then we will do a quick plane swap.
All right. Yeah, give me a grid.
All right.
I'll draw POI.
All right. Witch Collector, your grid is going to be 071 pack 132.